Hi, I'm here in Brooklyn, and I just finished working on an IFC show about hockey players. We filmed on the ice yesterday in Staten Island, and God, I've never laughed so hard as I did yesterday watching comics be bad at hockey. The show's called Benders. It won't be out for a while. Anyway, I had to record this today because it's like the best day in the world if you hate Jim Inhofe. And I mean, sorry to swear, but I fucking hate the guy. And I don't know him. This is just some backstory, some front story, and then some backstory. Yesterday was the day that the Papal Encyclical on climate change came out, and which was I am overwhelmed with admiration and I'm an atheist, and to have a religious leader speak with such moral authority on an issue that I care about is it's creating a little bit of cognitive dissonance for me. I'm surprised that I'm so grateful to this man for expressing it so clearly, expressing his support for the science so clearly, and for going after the deniers and the lazy thinkers in such a ballsy way. I'm not going to get into all that. This is all about Inhofe. Anyway, yesterday the encyclical came out, and Senator Inhofe is a senator from Oklahoma who believes that global warming is a hoax. He has a book about global warming being a hoax. His reasoning for why global warming isn't real is religious reasoning, that God wouldn't let it happen somehow. It's all this confused, twisted logic that either God wouldn't let it happen or that we're conceited for thinking that we could do it because God's more powerful. Constantly invoking religion to claim that we should use fossil fuels. Basically, the natural gas and fossil fuel industry is the biggest employer in Oklahoma. They contribute to his candidacy, and so he says things that benefit them. That's it. That's all there is to it. And he has all this. The stream of output from his mouth is in and of itself a refined product of the petroleum industry. That's what it is. It's a garbage stream. That he is a senator, that he is the chair of the Environmental Committee in the Senate, is it's so upsetting to me. It's one of the reasons I went back into therapy. I'm being totally serious. I would wake up in a state of panic and agitation. I would wake up and my first thought would be fucking Jim Inhofe. Think about him all the time. So I wrote an email to his office. I had to do something. I wrote an email to his office. This was several months ago. This is last October, I want to say. Here's what I wrote, trying to be respectful. Dear Senator James Inhofe, I believe that you represent the views of 500,000 Oklahomans who voted for you. From what I can tell, you have always been outspoken in your convictions, and your supporters know who they have elected and why. Despite the fact that I disagree with your public statements on climate change, your constituents' rights to accurate representation is something I cherish. See, I'm establishing some common ground. Maybe he's going to maybe at this point in the email, which I'm sure he read, he's like, oh, this guy's a stand-up dude. He understands the democratic process. We share the same ideals. He's acknowledging that I won fair and square. I really go to great lengths to be respectable to people. There's so much seething animosity between those lines with me, but still, that's my approach. Anyway, I'm writing to implore you, however, to keep in mind the silent constituency of voters like me who live in distant places, who are powerless to vote for you or against you. I breathe the same air and enjoy the same sun. I have access to the same research and the same holy texts as you, yet I have come to a starkly different conclusion on the issue of climate change and our environment. I have read your statements and much, much more. I've come to believe that climate change is a direct existential threat to me and those I love. It's a threat to our country and others. I believe it's just as grave a threat to the health and livelihood of the people who voted for you. In your quiet moments, with only your conscience to guide you, please think of the millions and millions of people, numbers which dwarf even the generous majority of Oklahoma voters who put you in office, who live and die by your policies. No business has the right to dump CO2 into the environment without factoring the cost of my health. The EPA, which you strive to diminish, is, in fact, working in my best interest. From what I can tell, you are advocating policies that threaten my well-being, my hopes for the future, and the viability of life on Earth. No excuses, no donation, no religious faith, no voter mandate will alter the slow and inexorable suffering we face with the continued buildup of greenhouse gases. As a responsible member of the body which governs this powerful country, you have a duty which goes far beyond Oklahoma. Okay. Just think for a second about that. I wrote to a senator to tell him that what he's doing is killing everyone, and I'm doing it without a wink. That's what I believe. All of this is getting to today, and why I got into no arguments today. Because yesterday, Inhofe did an argument. Inhofe did an argument. Yesterday, Inhofe did an interview where he was critical of what the Pope had to say. This is from Huffington Post. He said, quote, "I'm concerned that his encyclical, the Pope's encyclical, will be used by global warming alarmists to advocate for policies that will I'm not going to read his garbage. He's saying his point is that it's going to hurt the poor. That global warming alarmists are going to hurt the poor people because poor people need fossil fuels. This is such an ass overhead argument that a lot of politicians, they use it to hypocritically frame their concern for the fossil fuel industries as a concern for poor people. This is the most devious type of, it's just lies. You know, it's so hard. Sometimes when I'm doing this, I'm trying to think of a clever way to say something. It's just fucking bullshit lies. That's all it is. I can't be tactful about it. This is the grossest, they're appropriating the language of good and using it for evil. It's the very definition of evil. It's the definition of evil is what they're doing. So the comments. What follows in the comments section on this Huffington Post article is page after page of people excoriating Jim Inhofe. And it's a tonic to my soul to read these comments. So I'm just going to read a couple as I find them. Okay, this is from Timothy Duran. Let's look at the individuals on two sides of this issue. On the one side is Pope Francis, a Jesuit, the Catholic Church's most highly educated order, with a degree in chemistry, who insists on living simply and is the leader of a religion with members of both rich and poor all over the world. On the other side is Inhofe, quote, I am not a scientist, receiver of campaign money from the fossil fuel industry, senator from Oklahoma, where fossil fuel is a major industry. A man who thinks bringing a snowball into the U.S. Senate during winter disproves climate change. The real question isn't which one is right. The real question is, why is the media giving Inhofe's opinion any legitimacy at all? Inhofe needs to climb into his clown car and go find an oil well to fondle. I love the outrage. It's setting me free. Amen, Timothy, someone writes. Thanks, Timothy. Agreed. I wrote that. What a horribly ignorant and stupid man. This is Andrew Alberico. Oklahoma is getting drenched today by huge rainfall. The oceans are becoming warmer. More water vapor is going into the atmosphere to condense and come back down as unusually heavy rainfall. Most people learn the water cycle in 4th grade, maybe earlier. Oh, and then someone responded to that guy. No, not ignorant, just amoral and very greedy. He gets a buttload of cash from the oil and gas lobby. He doesn't give two poops about anybody but himself and his wallet. The ignorant one are the fools that vote for him. Oh, fuck, yes, that's right. It's true. It's true. The people that voted for him, I don't know. I mean, he did get over 500,000 votes. Who the fuck voted for him? Bruce Anderson, one of the more dangerous, intellectually disenfranchised, moral midgets in the Senate. Good one. Julie McCabe. Every time Jeb gives an interview, he should be asked about this. Does this apply to all issues? Well, I'm not following you, Julie McCabe. You're distracting me from people ragging on Inhofe. Karen Hofstetter. So we're supposed to believe a schmuck from Oklahoma about climate change or a world-traveled chemist pope? Repubs are out of freaking control in D.C. Dennis Humphrey. Truly unbelievable that conservatives with religious values can be so against God when it comes to profits for oil and gas, but so religious when it comes to judging the American people on family values and women's health care. I guess when God made Earth 6,000 years ago, he gave Republicans the go-ahead to destroy his creation in half that time. Yeah, that's ironic. Oh, this seems promising. This one has some poetic repetition in it. Tom Corcoran. Doesn't do the poor any good when they're being poisoned by mercury from coal plants. Doesn't do the poor any good when their coastal cities are inundated by the sea. Doesn't do the poor any good when droughts wipe out crops, when floods wipe out their homes. Doesn't do the poor any good when they die in thousands in streets from the heat. Could be like an awesome U2 song. Or a bad U2 song. Everything is about taxes with these repugnant Republican politicians. If it means the earth is being destroyed, it's okay as long as its taxes are low and non-existent. Criminals! Exclamation point. Oh, and then Eric wrote that, ending with criminals, and then someone wrote, "You're much too kind, Eric. You need to toughen up. These creatures easily transcend the boundaries of simple criminality many decades ago. They are utterly ruthless, pillaging parasites." Oh, I just want to soak it in. I just want to soak it in. Sorry, where was I? Pillaging parasites of the most formidable order these days. There's nothing they will not do to the rest of us to secure wealth and power now. Absolutely nothing. Thank you. Thank you, Bruce Anderson. Thank you, Eric Ross. Thank you, everybody who's saying all these mean things about Senator James Inhofe, who I fucking hate.